Hello everyone, my name is Khushbu and I'm the product manager for Domo's App Studio. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use some of the key features and components of this powerful data experience tool. Apps Home is where you can consume and create new apps with App Studio. To access App Studio, use the Apps option in the Domo top navigation. Here you will see all of your apps categorized under All Apps, Favorites, Shared, and Owned. Use the search bar to directly search for an app on your app's homepage. You can also access other Pro Code app capabilities from the Domo app platform directly from homepage, such as Workflows, App Store, and more. Use the Create App button to create an app from scratch, and hover over an app tile and use the three-dot menu to access quick options from home such as View, Edit, Share, Duplicate, Favorite, and Delete. Let's first take a look at an already existing app. The first thing you will notice is that the app takes over the full Domo experience with consistent themes, colors, and style across all pages. The bespoke navigation lets you seamlessly jump between different pages of your app. There are a few Domo apps options here on the navigation, such as Share, that lets you share your app with other users. Control lets you apply filters across your app. Details showcases app-related details such as name, last updated time, owners, and all the datasets used across your app. Once you enter the app editor, you will see a few options on the left-hand side. App themes contain multiple options that we will dive deeper into later, but Domo's out-of-the-box theme library, component styles for cards, tables, tabs, navigation, and more, theme colors which let you dive deeper into primary accent colors for personalization and branding, and so much more. App configuration lets you name your app and choose a logo for it using the upload option or selecting from an existing library. Pages and navigation shows all the app pages across your app and also shows options to add new ones and import existing content into your app and configuration settings. Add Actions and Elements provides a drag and drop interface to drop elements on your layout. Now let's create an app from scratch. Click on the Home icon to go back to Apps Home. Use the Create App button to drop into the App Studio editor. Here you will see an out-of-the-box theme library to choose from. Use the subtle or saturated theme for easier branding or personalization. Once you've selected the theme, click on Pages and Navigation on the left panel and use the Import option to start bringing in existing Domo content into your app. Here we are choosing existing pages instead of creating content from scratch, saving us a lot of time and effort into setting up the app. Once you bring in the page using this option, you will see that the pre-existing theme will seamlessly apply across all the components of that page. We will now bring in a few more pages into this app. Once you have imported all the content, let's take a look at page settings. Hover on the page and click on the settings icon. Here you will see options to name your app, include the page on navigation, and choose an icon for the page headers using a rich library of icons. Select your icon, and then you will also have the option to choose the color and the position of this icon, top, left, and right. You can also simply drag and drop the pages to change the order of these pages as they appear on the navigation and are set in your app. Let's quickly set up the icons for all of the pages in our app now. Once you have set up these pages, we can now look at organizing and grouping our content using tabs. Simply drag and drop a tab component on your layout. Tabs is one of the first steps towards letting you group content based on context. You can easily switch between our content and eliminate the endless scrolling experience using tabs. Here we are choosing the content on the existing page and just reorganizing them on the tab layout. Once you've reorganized your content, just like pages, you can also set up icons for tab headers. Let's finish organizing all of our content within these tabs. Buttons is another new addition into App Studio's rich feature set. Buttons can be used to navigate and link to other pieces of content from your app or create card and form pop-ups. Let's drag and drop a button from the Add and Actions elements in tab. You can also use a spacer to further fine-tune and control the white spacing on the layout. Once you click on a button, from the right-hand panel, you can see more options such as adding an icon or a label to your button. Use the icon library to select an icon for your button. Under the Actions panel, you can choose multiple options for a button. Here we are selecting a card pop-up. For the icons, you also have the option to select different icon sizes. Now save the app. Once you save, you will now see how this button can be used to navigate to cards with pop-ups. Until now, you could set up drill on cards, but with App Studio, you can now drill into a completely new page view from an existing chart view or button with persisting filters. Let's now set up a page drill on this chart here. Under the Action tabs, you can now choose the option to open page in any app. Select the page you want to drill into and choose the option to persist filter and enable interactive filters. You can also set up similar page drill views on a button. Let's drag and drop a button and a spacer here. Under the Actions panel, similarly, choose Open Page in an app and set up the drill view. You'll also see that under Pages and Navigation, the Drill Details page has been excluded on the navigation by unchecking Include Page on Navigation option. This will mark this page hidden on navigation. Once we save the app, now we can apply a few filters. Here we've chosen Apparel and Nike. And let's now drill into Utah using this chart view. You will now see you've drilled into a whole new page view with Utah, Nike and Apparel sales filters persisting through the main page. Use the back button to go back to your main page. You will see that buttons can also be used to drill into page views similarly. Click on this button and you will be taken into the drill view. Let's look at branding and personalizing your app now. So what's important about themes is that they really allow you to make a few changes to your app which apply to all of your content across all the pages instead of having to do a one-off colors or individual settings. Here you'll see there's a Domo out-of-the-box library with 9 options with many more to come in the future. So we've selected the impact theme, which is more greener, and you see lots of logic around background, buttons, colors, and charts, which really are tied together very closely. We've selected our theme here, midnight. You will see the chart colors, the buttons, the links, and the fonts, everything really working seamlessly and blending with each other comfortably. Really, all these different theme options give you the power to make changes to all of your content across all pages and all components instead of you having to spend a lot of time to set these up individually. And couple things to look at, we have the density option here, which actually controls the spacing between all of the items on your layout. So you can bring it really close and tight together or farther away from each other to control the white spacing on your app. Also with themes, how it works with colors is that each theme has a color palette and you can edit the palette that are tied to different themes. So if I select a different chart palette here, it works with the theme and really ties together with the background, navigation, and components. So they're all really brought together by that color palette. So here you can see how we're switching between different palettes and how it impacts the theme of this app as they're very closely tied together. Let's go back to the theme library and select saturated brand and jump into colors. So what's the important part is that everything is really driven by these color palettes. So once you click on edit theme colors, what you'll see is that the primary and 3 accent colors that are provided by Domo is what really drives this entire app theme. And we have colors that get generated based on theme and dark and light color for each and every palette. A lot of times customers just want their app to represent their brand and company. So it's really important to drive it from the primary and accent colors and not really add multiple custom colors. So here with the primary color, I can quickly choose to edit it using this color palette that we have. Clicking on the edit icon will bring about the option for you to update either the hex code or use a color picker to start choosing the color. What you'll see is that it takes just a few clicks and it can completely change the look and feel of your app from Domo to your brand. You don't really need to go and map everything or individually match each component. Everything is really driven by these primary colors. Navigations and buttons and chart colors, everything gets updated really in sync as you update these colors. You can also update the expanded series for the chart series colors, reorder those. And the subtle or saturated theme is really mapped so that these colors will match the color palette that you choose. You can also go ahead and save this theme as a custom theme option in your theme library quickly. Here you'll see under the custom themes tab that you have your new app theme saved. Now let's go ahead and save this app. Once you've saved the app, you will see that jumping between different pages of this app really follows the theme and the primary accent colors that you chose right now. So buttons, navigation, charts, single value cards, controls, everything is really mapped to the colors that you've selected for your app and brings it all together in a mere few seconds. Now that we've looked at branding, let's go ahead and jump into customization of individual components on the app. So you'll see that once you're under app themes, you have the edit styles option, and edit styles is really broken into different component types such as navigation, cards, tabs, tables, buttons, fonts, etc. Under fonts, we have all these font types, we have 5 font families and different styles really to dive deeper into. And what you will see under the defaults tab is that it's really broken into different categories and lets you change every component type all at once instead of having to spend time individually trying to tweak every single item. You can see cards have about 8 styles, buttons have about 5 styles. You can update single value cards all at once with a single click. Here we change the styles for single value cards. Let's go ahead and look at buttons. Here we have 5 different styles available for buttons. I go from style 1 to style 2 and the button gets updated, and so does it get updated on all the pages this button type has been used. You can also go really granular into individual settings for each and every component. So if you go under edit styles for this card here, you'll see that you have different options such as borders, border weight, colors, rounded corners, and so much more. So here we are updating a few settings. We're using the sliders to update rounded corners, borders, selecting a color for the border. We have a few options here for drop shadows. So you're selecting floating here, color for the drop shadow. There's also the option to update the card inner padding, which controls the spacing and padding around the inner edges of a card. So you can really bring together the title look and feel to each and individual component card on your page. You can also control spacing below your header, and there are advanced spacing options available as well. Also lots of options for font styles, just font color, card title, card description, time frame, summary, etc. Let's also go ahead and look at the tab styles and update the few pillar options for it. So once you click on a tab and go to edit styles, you'll have options to update background colors, hover colors, active colors for the button headers. Along with that, you also have the option to update the button style. So here we are switching between a few different button styles. You have the option to change the button fit from fill to hug labels with different alignment options. Let's also go ahead and update the tab name and give an icon to it. Another really amazing feature is the updates to the navigation style. So you can completely customize this navigation edit mode according to your unique preferences by changing the orientation from top to left. Here we are going ahead and updating the style, and you will see how seamlessly the left navigation blends with your complete app. You have the option to show your app title or hide it, show the logo, and you also have a few options to rearrange or hide and show the Domo navigation options. This really lets you cater to your personal needs when it comes to designing your app the way you really want it to. You'll see how seamlessly you can jump between different pages, and the look and feel of the app completely remains the same. Let's dive in and look at table styles and themes. Here we are going on the tab, selecting the Details tab, and clicking on Table. Once you click on Edit Styles, you will see that there are a lot of options available for you to tweak under table style settings. Here we are switching between different border options. There's border weight. You can also tweak the border colors, the row height between default, comfortable, compact. There's different row colors, and you can also dive in deeper into more granular settings when you click on Advanced Table Appearance. Here you will be able to access things such as alternating row colors, header fonts, font color types, background colors, text row font, subtotal and total row colors, and so much more, really giving you more and more control over all the granular settings available for a table. Go ahead and save your app now. Another new component addition to App Studio is forms. You can easily drag and drop a form component into your app to collect information from internal users across a variety of topics. Here we are going ahead and creating a new page called Feedback. Give your page an icon, save it, and then reorder it to position at the position you want on your navigation. Go ahead and start editing the page. You can use the Add and Actions and Elements tab to drag a form onto your layout. Here you have the option to create a new form or choose an existing form. Once you're in it, go ahead and give it a new name. Start adding questions. There are multiple options available, such as multiple choice, checkbox, dropbox, single choice, text, and more. You'll also be able to power forms from dataset columns for user selection using the mapping settings and build cards using the results dataset to view side by side on your app. Once finished, you can also preview this app. Click on Save. Once these forms get added on your layout, you will see how this closely ties to the theme that you've selected for your app. You have the option to switch between different styles for this form, and you can also view the output dataset directly from App Studio. Click on Save, and now you can input your data and click on Submit. You'll receive a notification that your answers have been submitted for this form. You can also use a button to populate a form behind a pop-up button. Here we're drag and drop a button on your layout. Use a spacer to further fine-tune how it looks across your layout. Let's change the name to Feedback and add an icon for it. Under the Actions tab, you will have the option to select the open form in a pop-up and choose the existing form called Feedback. Once you go ahead and save this app, you'll now be able to click on that button and open that specific form in a pop-up. Now that all of your content has been set up for your app, you can enter the App Studio editor and using the left panel under App Configuration, give your app a title. You can also choose to add a description for that app title. Choose an icon using the Upload option or the inbuilt library provided by Domo. You can also lock your app under App Configuration setting. Click on Save, and now your app is ready. Once you go back to Home, you will be able to view this app on your app's home page.